Do you feel like a sitting duck at the kitchen line? I've played pickleball for 12 years and professionally since the inception of pro pickleball back in 2020. I've won 4 MLP titles, 2 PPA titles, and countless APP titles, and I'm gonna teach you how to finally beat that banger. There are 5 keys to beating the banger, but first, you need one huge mindset shift. Traditional pickleball wisdom says that the best way to beat a banger is to slow them down and reset the ball and make them play the dink game. But watch what happens if I do that. All right, so I could be the world's best resetter, and I'm still not at an advantage here. Even though I'm slowing this ball down, all it does is show Johnny that I'm no threat, and my shot is so much more difficult than his. I have to take the perfect amount of pace off of this ball and drop it right into the kitchen in front of him. Otherwise, he's gonna slam it home on me, just like that. Johnny also has 22 feet of margin to hit into. I've got like 3 or 4 feet. That's gonna happen. If you start out with the mentality of slowing down the banger, you've already lost to the banger. Instead of resetting, if I counterattack a couple of these, it shows the banger they've gotta try something else. So if you learn nothing else from this video, take note of this. If you try to slow down a banger to make them play the dink game, you have already lost to the banger. Instead, you need to punish their bad attacks, and I'm gonna show you how. First, we need a good ready position, because if our paddle is too low, we look like this. Instead of what we want to look like, which is like this. Oh no, Johnny, you whiffed. Ready position looks slightly different at different skill levels, but a good rule of thumb is to make sure that our paddle is above the level of the net. From this position, I can swing forwards instead of having to swing upwards. If I'm hitting upwards on a hard shot, I am toast. My goose is cooked. My duck is boiled, I guess we can say for this one. I have an entire video on ready position and how to get it into your muscle memory, and I'll link that in the description. But if you aren't ready in the right position, you can't effectively counterattack against a banger. Second, we need to keep our paddle in our vision at all times. When somebody takes a big cut at you, a lot of people naturally want to take a big cut back, but counterattacking doesn't require us to generate pace. Our opponents have done that for us already. Take a look at a couple of examples.
And Riley, let's...
We want to use our opponent's pace and ideally get that counterattack down towards their feet.
Guys, give me 10 seconds to tell you about the transition zone. It's a roadmap to meet you where you are and help you get better at pickleball. We're in the pre-launch right now where you can lock in the best pricing forever, and if you don't love it, you don't pay. It's the perfect holiday gift. Link down below to join my community.
So back to the main point. If our paddle gets out of our vision, it means that we've taken too big of a swing. A big swing just takes way too much time to execute, it results in more pace than we need, and it's very tough to control. So make sure that your paddle never leaves your vision when playing a banger, and that's in both the backswing as well as that follow through. Third, think about your elbows. A huge mistake I see, especially from converted tennis players, is keeping your paddle too far out in front. Yeah, you can actually keep your paddle too far out in front of you, and watch what happens. Your paddle naturally tends to come down a little bit. It's hard for my little arms to keep it up here all the time, but you can't generate any pace from this position. I have no punch left from all the way out here. If I want to punch, my first movement is to come back, and then I've got to go forwards. Before I was a professional pickleball player, I was a professional boxer. All right, you caught me. I've never ever been in a fist fight in my entire life, and I was definitely shoved in more than one locker in middle school, but we can learn a couple of things from boxers. I promise I'll put a shirt back on in a second, but boxers keep their elbows in tight so they can both block punches as well as throw punches. When they throw a punch, they stay compact because another punch is probably coming back their way any second. All right, I'll go put a shirt on. When we counterattack, we want to stay compact and not overextend ourselves because we have to assume that that ball is coming back. Fourth is building your ready position into your follow through. What I mean by that is as I swing, I want to return my paddle right back to the center for that next shot. On the backhand side, it would look something like this. When we counterattack, we don't want to get overextended. When I'm doing quick hands, I think about my next swing starting where my previous swing ended. What do I mean by that? Well, when I'm at the net, I'm trying to follow through back to the center of my body to immediately recover to ready position. If I follow through all the way across my body, I'm out of position for the next ball. So I try to think about following through right back to my ready position. You can work on this by doing this simple quick hands drill at the net. Start slowly and think about finishing your swing right back where it started. Finally, know the court and the percentages. There's no shortcut to this one. You have to develop a mental model of what your opponents can effectively hit, and you have to do this by self-coaching. So before your opponent speeds up, try to think about what their highest percentage play is. For example, if the ball is very low and they take a huge swing, I'm most likely going to try and leave it because the chance that they're able to put the ball in the court might be slim from that position. I make that decision before they even hit the ball because I don't think that they're going to be able to keep the ball in, and that just takes a lot of training and time. Next, try and take away their safest shot. If the ball is high enough and they're speeding up, try and take away the easiest shot, which tends to be through that middle. Force your opponents to try and hit winners down the sidelines. Finally, recognize good shots. Sometimes your opponent is going to be able to execute a low percentage shot and hit a winner without you doing anything wrong. That happens sometimes, but pickleball is a percentage game. You don't need to win 100% of points, you just need to win slightly more than 50%. So if this video helped you go from a sitting duck to a counterattacker, please consider subscribing and check out this video to fix your ready position.